Hi everyone and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday the 1st of October 2018. I'm using the Green Witch Tarot for this reading. I always feel that the first reading of the month has added significance because we're looking at the first day of October here already. I can't believe we're in October 2018. This year has flown by and we're now entering autumn or fall, as they call it in the States. And what better deck to use than the Green Witch Tarot? So let's have a look at what the cards want you to be aware of. And I'm going to do a little fan for myself. The Five of Chalices. The Four of Pentacles. That's always such a creepy card with that weird guy looking through the door. And the High Priestess. Okay. So, the Five of Chalices is really a card that has to do with perspective. Usually it's someone who's in this black robe and is mourning. What have we got here? We have a young woman who is pouring out chalices in front of... she's at someone's grave site, and the person has been honored with this spiral. It must be a different culture. She's got 3 cups there, and she's spilling the last 2 cups, and she's watering the ground. So in this card, the cups and the water that comes from it is a metaphor for her love. So she's paying her respects. She's traveled all this way to honor someone she loved, and she's pouring her love onto that. And what's interesting is that even though she's honoring the dead and her perspective is on what is gone and what's been lost, her giving her love to this has beautified the whole area. Do you see that? All the plants growing everywhere, the blackberries growing here, the rabbits in the grass. So even though she's focused on, her perspective may seem quite dark and negative, and she may be feeling quite upset that she's lost this person, and she comes every day and she waters the grave. Maybe that's part of this Wiccan culture. And for her, that's a negative experience, or it could be a positive experience because obviously she feels closer to that person. She feels connected. And connection is everything that we are. We are beings who are meant to connect. So you will connect today with other people. Some situations will seem negative, others will seem positive. What's important here, the Four of Pentacles, and we can see this. If someone looked through my doorway like that, I would immediately run over and I say, "Get away from that window. How dare you?" That would creep me out. Okay, the Four of Pentacles is usually being miserly and hiding your belongings, and for good reason. If you have people like that staring at you, you'd hide your stuff, wouldn't you? So he's covered in a red robe. So his major passion in life is his money, okay? He really cares about money. And we've got a tortoise here, so it's taken him a long time to build this. And he's afraid, so this may be a real man or it may be a figment of his imagination. He's afraid that he's going to be robbed. So the Four of Pentacles is about hoarding, and it's about being miserly, and it's about clinging on to what you have and really putting your hooks and your claws into it so that you don't lose it. Which is very strange in connection with this card, because here we have a card which is about perspective and either looking at, okay, I'm going to celebrate this person's life and be happy and grow from it, or I'm going to, and I'm not talking about the grieving process and how anyone should grieve. I'm just wondering where she's at, because I think at the end of the grieving process, for me personally, I always feel like my father's with me. So it feels like now it's something that's become a part of me and that helps me grow. So this is perspective. This is Four of Pentacles, and that's paranoia and miserliness and also perspective. So don't put too much weight on your money today. Don't give too much importance to safeguarding what you've got and hiding things from other people. And I really think it would be much wiser today to observe. We've got the High Priestess here, which is interesting because in this deck, she's not just observing, she's actually she's doing magic. The High Priestess is usually a card that represents wisdom and the gatekeeper, the guardian to the other side, you know, the Akashic records, the collective unconscious, the source of everything, and where all knowledge is kept. And she's passive and she watches and she takes it all in. But in this case, the High Priestess is throwing some herbs into a cauldron. She's protected by that cat. She's in a magic circle, more protection. And she's creating some magic of her own. So here we've got that being poured away then, bringing things back to life so that you can rebuild and let go of what was and really devote yourself to what you want to do and what you want to create next. So the circle here is the end of one cycle and the beginning of something new. So this is a day that could go several different ways. What we've got though, what I think I can agree with is that we have a lot of self-interested people here. We have her, she's totally wrapped up in her grieving process, her own world. We've got him, he's borderline paranoid or he's got good reason, but we don't know. But he's certainly not, you know, serving food to people who are poor. He's in his own world, worried about his money. And she is literally in her own world because she's put a stone circle around her. So each person is like a capsule unto themselves. And no man is an island. And we're all beings who have to connect with others. And we're all people who feel best when we're connected and we're touched. We need that as human beings, you know? So today, going into this new week, I think a lot of people are really going to be focused on themselves and what they're doing. And what I would suggest here is that rather than change the perspective just here in this card from grieving to celebrating someone's life, I think you should is a bad word. I think it would help you if you changed your perspective on your own situation in your life, let go of your focus on money today, let go of trying to make the magic happen, and instead of focusing on your own life, hand your problems over to the universe, say to the universe, you deal with this, whatever is meant to be with my money, let me accept that. Whatever is meant to come my way in terms of love and the future and what I'm building, I put that in your hands. Let that happen the way you want it to happen. And I'm going to, on this day, try and look at how I can help other people to get out of myself. Because each one of these people is not happy. And I would never usually say that about the High Priestess. That's why it's so cool to use different decks, because you get different meanings to the cards. So if I'd used the Rider-Waite deck, that would be totally different. So lots of self-interested people. Make sure you're not one of them, because there's conflict in the air, and the more open you are to other people, the more you can turn that energy into being supportive or helpful or caring, and also helping someone to get out of their own bubble and to reconnect. And that's really, do that today. That if you phone someone and connect and just say, hey, I was just calling to see how you're doing. That's the way you pop this bubble today. All you need to do is connect to another person in earnest, in a positive, good way, and the two of you will find something great to do, and it'll take you out of this suction cup of yourself today, because we all know that our own heads, if you sit alone with your own head for a whole day, you're going to feel kind of nuts at the end of that day. And everyone's on their own here and isolated. And that's why they're all working at things which never really... I mean, this is kind of pointless. He doesn't know whether that's going to get stolen. If he puts that in a safe, it can still get stolen. And whatever she wills in terms of magic, she doesn't know if the outcome of her magic is going to be good for her or bad for her in the long run. None of these people really know what they're doing. So try and connect with a power greater than yourself. Meditate and hand things over to the universe, and connect with friends, family, peers, contemporaries, and talk things through, and don't isolate yourself. That's what I feel the cards are saying today. Because you may think everything you're doing is super, super important, but step back from that a little bit and look at it with a bigger perspective, and you'll notice that the minutiae of every little thing that you do isn't groundbreaking and earth-shattering. 5 and 4 is 9, and 2 is 11. 11 is the master number of service. That's so amazing. So 11, if you want to get out of yourself and have a wonderful day, then ask yourself, how can I serve? How can I be of service to other people? And that's what's going to enable you to have a wonderful day. But if you're like, how can I serve myself? Then you're going to get yourself into one of these situations where you're either losing perspective, or you're overly concerned about your finances, or you become so willful that you try and magically create things which possibly aren't meant to be. So that's what I get for you here on the 1st of October. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a great start to the month. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. I use astrology, tarot, and numerology in my readings. The astrology chart shows me what your life purpose is and where you've been in past lifetimes. It shows me vocationally what you're talented at and what your vocational gifts are. Because everyone's been given certain talents that you can use to thrive here on planet Earth. I can also look at family, what's destined for you in love and spirituality and health, and also what's coming up in future in each one of those areas of your life. So if you are interested in having me look at your chart, then please order the reading on gregoryscott.com. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.